Hi friends, let's talk about a cholesterol lowering breakfast that's actually less than $20. And so I went shopping for this cereal. It's called Bob's Red Mill Muesli, and I'll tell you why that this can help lower people's cholesterol. Grape nuts, which I found in Walmart, and this I think I got at Sprouts. And then I picked up plant-based milk that you can buy really in any grocery store, as well as these two packages at Walmart because they were on sale. These are medjool dates and these are pineapple bites, okay? And a banana, which, it's like quarter at some stores like Trader Joe's. So usually I don't eat these things, so I'm gonna actually taste test, see which one is better. By the way, my name is Dr. Lou, and I've been a double board certified physician practicing for nearly 30 years. Of course, this video is for informational purposes only. It doesn't replace your conversations with your own personal physician, but like everybody else, I gotta eat too, so I'm always in search of the best foods with the best quality for myself and my patients. So that's why I go about these different stores to look for what I can practically help my patients do so that they can make eating so much easier. It shouldn't be a chore, right? And we should be able to easily access food that will propagate our metabolism and help us to live a longer, healthier life. I usually make my own cholesterol lowering breakfast. It doesn't look like much, but what it has is oats and buckwheat. It has dates. I added pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds. I have some hemp seeds in here. And I cook this all together to make breakfast for my family and myself. So every morning what I do is I may put some fruit in here like blueberries, or I cook this ahead of time. It takes probably like 20 minutes to cook. I make a pot that'll last for a few days, and then when it's done, I'll make another one. So I get to make another pot today. I add some milk and I stir this together. Now my son, he doesn't like the seeds part. And so I have to pulverize this a bit for him so that he is okay with the texture. And this is what it looks like. It's nice and soft, but you have the crunch, a little bit of a crunch and texture of the seeds in here, but I did cook it all together. Add it all together, it probably is like less than $1, right? When you put it all together with this little bit of volume. So let me tell you why that I chose this cereal. And this was invented by a physician that wanted to help his patients. But I'm going to taste to let you know what it tastes like compared to like my cereal, okay? Number one is whole grain wheat. That's really important that you find a word that says whole grain, because if it doesn't say whole grain, it's probably going to say wheat flour or wheat. If it doesn't have whole grain in it, it's not whole grain. That means you're not getting the benefit of the packaging of the wheat that slows down your digestion, your absorption of all the nutrients. And it also comes with polyphenols, and that's where the fiber is at. The second thing is dates. Now, if you look at that on the surface, you may think, oh my gosh, dates, they're actually full of sugar. And yeah, these are whole dates. They have nothing but dates in. They have 4 grams of fiber. They have 30 grams of sugar, yes, but they don't have any added sugar. And if you look up the glycemic index of dates, it's actually not high. Even though it's sweet, it's because it's bound in fiber. So you don't actually absorb it like a rush of granulated sugar or table sugar. The body absorbs it slowly over time. And that's the advantage of eating whole fruit. And that will happen with your dates, with your pineapple, with fresh fruit like bananas. So I don't have any fear of having dates as the second ingredient. I would have fear if the second ingredient was honey, molasses, sugar, inverted sugar, rice syrup, or maple syrup. That is a different metabolic physiology. If you don't have diabetes or high triglycerides, or you aren't worried about your weight, yeah, you can eat some of that stuff. But if you have excess calories, you're overweight, you're having heart issues, you're having blood sugar issues, you're having cholesterol issues, yada, 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 yeah, don't eat that stuff, right? Eat all natural food. So dates is number 2. Sunflower seeds, okay, that's a whole seed, right? That is good monounsaturated fats that will also help to lower your cholesterol. And dates, by the way, has that soluble fiber that helps you lower cholesterol. Anytime you have a whole food, a whole plant food that is intact, you'll have soluble fiber. And that is the key whenever you're shopping for foods that can help you lower cholesterol. So if you eat enough of these dates, you'll be pooping multiple times a day. And hence, you don't want to overeat it. Okay. Raisins. So these raisins are coated with a little bit of sunflower oil. Again, sunflower has monounsaturated fats. Raisins, they probably coated it so it doesn't stick together, because usually raisins are sticky, right? It's full of sugar that may leach out, but raisins are also full of soluble fiber. And that fiber helps to pull cholesterol. Every time anything helps you poop, that is a soluble fiber, right? It has to be a soluble fiber. So things that help you poop is like polyethylene glycol helps you poop, but it won't pull out cholesterol, because it doesn't bind bile acids. That's a key. If it binds bile acids, then it can help draw out cholesterol. Whole grain rye. Okay, so that's another reason why I bought it. Whole grain rye. Rye doesn't just have fiber, but it has lignans that can help reduce cancer risk. Barley. Okay, so that's another grain with soluble fiber that helps to reduce cholesterol. Whole grain oats, that's another grain with soluble fiber that helps to reduce cholesterol. Whole grain triticale, I actually don't know what that is. Triticale, I gotta look that up. That's a new grain that I found. Then it has almonds, which is so good for your skin. It has monounsaturated fats that also help to reduce cholesterol. Flax seeds, that's another one with high in omega-3 fats, actually. Of all these things, that's the highest omega-3 fats. And it has soluble fiber that helps reduce cholesterol. And walnuts, which is another ingredient that has omega-3 fats, okay? This bag was like about $5. And the cholesterol is 0. The saturated fat is 0. The total carbohydrate is 23 grams. And the total fiber is 4 grams, right? There's no added sugar, even though there's 5 grams of added sugar because of fruit. But I'm not afraid of that. I will eat bowls and bowls of fruit because it doesn't have the added sugar. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. We're going to pour some in, okay? It looks like basically grains and oats, right? Oats and different rolled grains, right? It's loose, so you can cook it or you can eat it like this. So if you were to make overnight oats, you could basically pour some milk in, your favorite milk, let it soak, and then that would be one way you can eat it, right? So I had to cook all these because barley you have to cook. Oats, I usually cook my oats. But oats, like rolled oats, are already cooked. But I usually cook like oat groats. You have to cook that or you'll break your teeth, okay? This is such a great replacement for when I can't make my own concoction because it fulfills my criteria of having nuts, seeds, and whole grains, right? And soluble fiber. Okay, now if I find this not sweet enough for my palate, I will add some pineapple or I will add some medjool dates, right? This pineapple has nothing but pineapple. There is no added sugar. So there is sugar in it because all fruit has sugar, right? Otherwise, it's really probably not a fruit, right? There's some form of sugar in it. That's what attracts other animals to eat it so that it can propagate its seeds. But there's no added sugar, and that's a key. And there's no added juice. So when people add fruit juice, it's basically added sugar. I don't want any of those ingredients separated. I just want the whole ingredient. And I'm going to try mine, and then I'm going to try this, right, to let you know, what it tastes like. Okay, so mine is going to be softer because I cooked it. And it's just sweet enough because I put enough dates in it. Now this package, let me see if it's too sweet for me or just the right taste. Definitely less sweet. So much less sweet than what I did because I cooked my fruit. So some of the sugar was able to come out. I'm going to cook it later and see if it tastes better cooked. By the way, could you please check if you're subscribed to this channel? You know, when you subscribe, like, and share, it really helps other people see my videos. And if you've already subscribed, thank you so much for joining me to change the world. But it hits a spot. I can taste all the nuts. I don't think I Maybe I got one raisin in it. So if you wanted to make it sweeter, put a banana in it, right? So let me put some bananas in it and see if this makes it a little bit sweeter. Hits the spot. If you want soft cereal, make sure you cook this. I'm gonna cook this later to try it, but this has a crunch to it, kind of like a dry cereal. It's not crunchy like a cornflake. It's like crunchy like probably eating rolled oats, right? Plain. Okay, so the next one is grape nuts. This is actually one of the very first cereals ever invented in America. You have to be very careful. Not all grape nuts are clean like this, okay? So I got the original recipe. That's really important. The original grape nuts. Because if you don't get the original, you can have added sugar in it. This has whole grain wheat, malted barley flour. Remember, barley has a soluble fiber. Whole grain is the first ingredient. I want to make sure that whatever I'm eating is whole grain. So whole grain wheat. And it has some salt for flavor and dried yeast. Now, why would someone put dried yeast when this is probably really dense? Well, yeast, like nutritional yeast, has a lot of amino acids, has a lot of B vitamins and protein. It's very, very nutritional. And it has a lot of beta glucans, okay? So if I read this, the fiber content is 7 grams. The total carbohydrate is 46 grams. It has 2 grams of soluble fiber, 5 grams of insoluble fiber, 5 grams of sugar. There is no added sugar, okay? So all these cereals that I bought, there's no added sugar. So let me open this. I honestly, the last time I ate grape nuts was when I was a kid. And I didn't like it because I was into sugary cereals like Fruit Loops, right? And after you eat Fruit Loops, there's no way you're going to eat grape nuts or any of these cereals. Like even my oats, you're not going to eat that because I don't have any added sugar in it. Whoa! Okay, I just made a huge mess, but I get to clean up a little bit later. That's a lesson for me to learn. Next time I got to bring some scissors, otherwise I'll just make a huge mess. But as you can tell, it's nice and crunchy and flaky. That's just a lot of, it's like a shower of grape nuts that I have all over the place. Let me try this when it's crunchy. And I'm sure you could probably cook it, but it's not going to be as crunchy. So remember, this wasn't very sweet. So let me see if this is sweet at all, right? Oh, it's super crunchy. I actually like it. I think the malted barley gives it a sweet flavor. It's actually sweeter to me than this. That actually tastes pretty good. You know, I think I've changed my palate so much that I do enjoy the sweetness. I'm actually quite surprised how sweet this is compared to this bag. I probably would enjoy it if I mix it both together because this gives a really good crunch topping compared to this. This isn't really crunchy. This is more of a hardness. And this is really crunchy. It's actually a really good texture. I think I just discovered a breakfast item that I can eat. So, you know, if I mix all these cereals, there'll probably actually be a very nutritious meal I could eat, right? Mixing all this stuff together. I really thought I would need sugar in the grape nuts, but I don't. This one is actually less sweet. And so if you are used to something sweeter, add some dry fruit to it, right? And you can also add dry fruit to the grape nuts. But this is actually delightful. I really love finding new products. I really want to see what it tastes like if I just mix all 3 of these together, right? I think it'll taste delicious. I'm not one of those people who care that my food mixes. I just don't want to waste food. I don't think I'll be able to put all 3 in one unless well, maybe. Because I really like the crunch of the grape nuts. And let's see if it's still crunchy after sitting. It's been about 5 minutes or so. Let's see if it's still crunchy. So it's losing its crunch. This is a cereal that you really need to eat within the first 5 minutes. It's still going to give me a good texture. It's actually delicious. This is the first meal I've had this morning. Actually, it's no longer morning. It's about 1 o'clock. I forgot to eat breakfast. This is actually terrific breakfast, brunch, lunch. If you're into eating dinner like this, I see nothing wrong with it. This is actually amazing. I haven't enjoyed cereal this much in a long time. But sometimes, you know, eating like something wet in the morning, I just don't feel like it. I want something dry. And so sometimes I want a piece of bread, right? And if you want to learn which is the best bread to buy, watch the next video.